Afternoon. Welcome to another community concert. I think you will love this one. Their football team was pretty good, but these guys are great. And they have some wonderful people that I know you can't wait to hear. At this time, I'd like to remind you to spend some time in the program. There's some really neat stuff in there to read. And also, I would like to introduce to you our conductor, Dr. Chung Park.
So I first was here 2 years ago, and we are very excited to be back. We love playing here. We actually really love the acoustic in this hall. We think it sounds great. We actually heard some stuff today for the first time that we've actually worked on trying to hear for weeks. And so there are some very reassured students back there who know that they're doing it right, which is very, I think it's a wonderful thing, obviously. So thank you all for having us here. And I want to introduce a very special guest. We have the composer for 3 of our works here with us today, and she'd like to talk about some of her, 2 of her pieces in particular, and maybe a little bit about locomotion as well. So please welcome Dr. Scully-Simon.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much. Can I take this off? Yeah, okay, that's good. It's wonderful to be here and see everyone here. And again, we have a wonderful orchestra and a special treat for you today. I wanted to talk just a few minutes about the pieces that you're going to hear that I wrote. The first one is called Locomotion. And it basically is about a train trip, and various kinds of things that you take, you see as you're going along in a sort of a fast railed kind of train. So it's basically just kind of keeps going. But the reason I really wanted to talk to you about today for these 2 other pieces, Checkers is one, and it is from a set of pieces that I wrote in 2007 called Rockwell Reflections. So Checkers and Peace Corps are from those 2 from that particular set. But the reason I wanted to actually speak to you about it is because I'm going to show you 2 visuals, and then the screen is going to go up, and behind there you will see our wonderful percussionists. But because we can't have a projector and the screen because it sort of shines in their eyes. So the Peace Corps, or the Checkers, was illustrated by Norman Rockwell in 1928, and the visual that you'll have for that is this. And you'll see, it's a little hard to see right now, but there's a clown, and then there's a ringmaster, and a couple of a ballerina and another guy there, and on the far right-hand corner, it's hard to see, but there's a sleeping dog. And the dog just kind of peacefully lies there. So when you hear Checkers, sort of kind of keep this image in your minds, because it's going to go away. We're going to take the images out. Then the second image, the second piece, is called the Peace Corps. And this was done in 1966. And I always like to ask audiences, how many of you are familiar with the Peace Corps or had someone who was in the Peace Corps? Raise your hands. Wow, that's great. That's great. It's a fantastic organization. And the image that Rockwell painted to go along with that is this image. And it's a very powerful image, and I was really inspired by that. This set of pieces came from a traveling exhibit of Norman Rockwell's work that was going around the country. And this particular movement has been played by many orchestras, most recently actually by the UCF Orchestra, but prior to that by the National Symphony for their Labor Day concert last year. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and let Dr. Park lead the orchestra.
So I would like to show the audience some of the cool percussion things that we've got going on. So Checkers has a lot of really fun auxiliary percussion, and so we'd love to share some of those things with you. So, Matt, what do you have over there?
Brake drums?
He's got a brake drum. Put that back on my Ford Fairlane.
Pretty much it.
That's it. That's all for him. And then, Ryan, what do you got?
Got a car horn.
Can you play the brake drum once, Matt?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then, what's that called again? I
Got
forgot.
a klaxon horn.
It's called a klaxon horn. Sounds like a Model T. Yeah.
Got a mouth siren.
All right.
And
Okay. Does that whistle have a special name?
it's a slide whistle.
Oh, it's a slide whistle. Well, show us the slide. Here we go. That's the whole point of the slide whistle, is the slide. Okay. All right. Ted, what have you got? Oh, you're on tippity. I can't see what you got back there. All right. Chris?
I also have a slide whistle.
Okay. He always plays it up. The other guy always plays it down.
I have a cuckoo whistle. Police whistle.
About time. All right. Yeah. Observe the laws of physics today. Thanks. All right. So, and also, Dr. Sung, if you could, do you mind coming back up and then talking about who represents whom in the painting? So.
All right, so, well, the image is gone now, but you remember that we had a ringmaster and we had the guy in the red coat. And so the ringmaster is playing a game of checkers with clown. And this was actually a real portrayal of a clown. I think his name is Joe. I can't remember the last name, but it was Joe. And the clown in that picture, if you kind of remember, was the one who won the game. And so he's very, very sure of himself. It's going like this. So we have the clown represented by the cellist. Yeah, very sure of himself. And then we have a ringmaster who's represented by our first violinist. Good. And then I think the ballerina was actually represented by the second violin. I don't remember. Or, yeah. Yeah, so she's just kind of watching, observing things. And then we had that sleeping dog, and he doesn't do anything but just kind of sleep all day long. And so we have that as our violist. Viola solo. Yes, and happy to everything. So there we have it. So when you listen to checkers, kind of pay special attention to our little soloists there. And there's a lot of stuff going on in the background, which is the circus music, but our soloists are the ones to focus on. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. And now on with the show.